Well, Trump is not making a ton of public appearances lately. That's been a criticism, and so he's trying to increase it a little bit, meaning today a speech is being delivered in, I think it's North Carolina, Asheville, and then tomorrow he's scheduled a press conference. We'll cover all that, obviously. But here, he did speak to reporters a little bit after voting in the Florida primary. And I have videos to play for you. We'll contextualize it with some reporting. But let me just say this. If you were to go online and look at people responding to this, everyone's saying that he's acting very depressed, sad, somber. And I've been covering extensively why that might be, him panicking about the election and how things seem to be slipping away from him. But people like Tim Miller, for example, who we had on the show just recently, yesterday, or it'll be maybe on today's show, but he says, dude looks clinically depressed. If your grandpa walked into a room like this, you'd ask if he needs a trip to the store for some candy. And listen, I don't condone. So Tim, if you're listening, how dare you? I don't condone that sort of mockery. Okay? But Tim said it. A lot of other people have been taking note of it. So let's look at some videos. He walks out very somber.
Mr. President, can you tell us about what the FBI told you?
Thank you very much. Great honor to vote. We've done a fantastic job here, and we appreciate it. We think we're doing very well. We just had a poll that shows we're doing very well.
Oh, it's so sad. It's so sad. Look at, he's pouting. Again, I don't like these childish attacks, but they're there. They're so available. He does look like a little pouting boy.
And we have an interesting couple of months ahead of us. McKinney, I'm going to...
I can barely hear him, but we'll play a different one there in a second. Him getting asked about his crazy AI statement. Just remember, the whole campaign was structured around calling Biden sleepy. Now that's his vibe. And at his recent speeches, he's also just been sort of low energy and bummed out. That's now going against not Joe Biden, but this energy.
Voices heard. Do we believe in freedom? Do we believe in opportunity? Do we believe in the promise of America? And are we ready to fight for it? And when we fight, we win. God bless.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I can see why Trump's freaking out. And just the Daily Mail out with a report. Donald Trump is lighting up his campaign staffers as he hunkers down at Mar-a-Lago, 2 former aides have claimed. The former president's reported meltdown comes from 2 staffers who worked in the White House under the former president and have since turned on him, as polls show the race with Kamala Harris is getting tighter by the day. It's actually flipping around, where now it's going to get less tight, but in the direction of Harris leading. But here is a question that Trump was asked about him claiming on Truth Social, the entire events like that, it's all AI. Kamala Harris doesn't actually have people who like her. Come on.
And you said Harris's crowd sizes were AI and that there weren't people there. There's all kinds of video evidence and people who were there who have proven that false. Can you tell us about why you made that claim?
Well, I can't say what was there, who was there. I can only tell you about ours. We have the biggest crowds ever in the history of politics. We have crowds that nobody's ever seen before, and we continue to have that. We have a level of enthusiasm that nobody's seen before. They want to make America great again. That's what's happening. We're going to make it great again. Right now, we have a failing nation. We're in a failing nation, and become in many ways a third world nation, and we're not going to let that happen. Thank you very much.
Isn't that just such a delightful, hopeful tone to strike? And before I'll show you his full 2-minute remarks to the press, but the Lincoln Project was out with a pretty brutal ad making this point about how you failed in your calculus, Donald, and now what do you do?
Donald? They were wrong. Susie Wiles, Chris LaCivita, Tony the Pollster. They got it wrong.
President Joe Biden has just announced that he is dropping out of the 2024 presidential race.
They told you that Biden would never quit. That you should spend all that time, all that money, so much money, focusing on Biden. How he's too old. Now it's Harris. She's younger than you by a lot. Faster on her feet, better than Biden was on camera. They were wrong, but they're wrong a lot. Wrong that Vance would help you. You know he's terrible. Wrong that you have the race sewn up. It's sad, Donald. They spend more time trying to keep you under control than trying to win. More time trying to keep you from looking at what they're spending, what they're doing behind your back. Sad. Maybe you're losing your grip, Donald. Maybe you're the only one who could run your campaign. If Susie and Chris got it so wrong on Biden, what else have they screwed up?
Yeah, and I want to make sure that we're all calibrated. That that the excitement's justified. Even the mockery. Okay, we can do a little mockery. But it's not because we're spiking any footballs. If the polls stood where they stand today, there would still be a very good shot of Trump winning. So we got to work. But the momentum, it's hard not to get pumped about that, okay? And one former aide to Trump said, quote, I think that he feels this election slipping away from him. And that's where you're beginning to see him spiral. Trump is not barnstorming across swing state because he's... This is a weird logic. Trump isn't barnstorming across swing states because he's pissed. I'm mad at them. I saw a poll that Wisconsin had Harris up, so I hate Wisconsin now. I'm not going to campaign there. Very strange. And here's more from Donald himself.
We appreciate it. We think we're doing very well. We just had a poll that shows we're doing very well.
It didn't happen. It's so sad. It didn't happen. He's making it up. You're making it up. Stop it.
And we have an interesting couple of months ahead of us. I'm going to North Carolina right now. We're going to speak on the economy. It's basically a speech on what's going on with our economy. It's gone very bad under this group of people with inflation, with the economy itself, and so many other things. The other thing we're going to talk a little bit on is crime. If you look at the migrant crime in New York, it's been out of control.
Look at how bummed out he is. He's not bought into these talking points, so I guess I normally say inflation or something. The economy, I don't know. Just something's bad about the economy, I guess. So that's terrible. Migrants, that's a word I use a lot. Migrant crime. That the border, they're coming from jails, they're coming from insane asylums. Oh, I don't even have the joy to tell the Hannibal Lecter story. The late Greg can't even get it out. Hannibal Lecter.
And it is everywhere, as I predicted a long time ago. And we'll be talking a little bit about crime and all of the people that have come into
Are you talking about how crime has plummeted under Biden? Is that the thing about crime?
our country illegally, millions and millions. I think it's close to 20 million. Maybe it's more than 20 million. And they shouldn't have been allowed to come here. It's causing a tremendous problem. It's causing death. And just it's been a horror show. Nobody's seen anything like it. And it's only going to get worse. They should not have allowed this to happen to our country. With that being said, I'm leaving for right now North Carolina. Do you have a question?
Yes, sir. What has the FBI told you about the hack on your campaign?
Well, they're looking at it, and they're doing it very professionally, and it looks like it's Iran doing it, because Iran is no friend of mine, and, a lot of bad signals get sent. But it looks like it's Iran doing it, and the reason is because I was strong on Iran, and I was protecting people in the Middle East that maybe they aren't so happy about that. So that's what it seems to be, Iran.
Okay, so no doubt we'll be addressing a lot of what he has to say at this speech in Asheville. So we'll save some of the responses there, because I think the takeaway here is genuinely, again, I'm making a dual point of it's sort of fun to mock, and also I think our case is best with a really concise, fact-based case, right? The mockery isn't even necessary, but it's fun. But then I'm being dead serious, separate from a grandpa going to a candy store, that he does seem really bummed out. You can see it there. So, crime is bad, even though it's not, but maybe you'll believe death, destruction, Everyone's going to die if I don't get elected. We're a failed nation. Which, I get fear-mongering can work. But if even the person fear-mongering is not that passionate about it, it's hard to believe them. And when that is going up against the type of energy and passion and a more positive message from the Harris campaign, it seems difficult to imagine he would thrive in this campaign. But really strange. We're all concerned, Donald, with your vibe. Let me know what you thought of that in the comments. If you want to support the work we do, you can do so by clicking the join button below.